With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso Virtuo Coffee Machines. Ready to enjoy the bold flavors of barista-quality Nespresso iced coffee at home? Simply fill a glass with ice and press the brew button on your Virtuo Pop machine to enjoy rich double espressos roasted to stand up even when chilled. Refreshingly bold iced coffee. Refreshingly easy to make at home. Visit Nespresso.com to shop now.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of Spin, Shuffle, Skip on the There Can Only Be One podcast channel and a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. All right, I'm going to apologize in advance because, as you can probably tell, if you've been listening to the show, I'm fighting off a bit of a cold, but that is not going to stop us from celebrating our 4-year anniversary of It's Not That Bad, and we're doing so by tying this show into the celebrations over on the It's Not That Bad channel, because just yesterday, as long as you follow that podcast, you know that we just finished talking about the 2001 fan-freaking-tastic movie, Josie and the Pussycats, so it makes total synergistic sense for us to pop on over to this channel and talk about the Josie and the Pussycats soundtrack. And here to join me, my totally jerkin wife, my lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing?
Who's a rock star?
I am. And you are too.
Aw.
Right?
I'm not going to ask you to sing any of the songs.
Yeah, I am not going to do anyone or anything any justice by trying to sing. I'm going to save our dear listeners because we cherish all of our dear listeners. But I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to make it through this show. However, if halfway through the show, Carrie starts talking all by herself and you don't hear me, I'm dead. That's basically the way it's gone down. I have died in the middle of the show and it's now Carrie's.
De jour means family.
De jour needs NyQuil right now, okay?
Hey, that's my face. We'll get you a new face.
I need a new face right now because this face is full of cold, okay? So
you're a little pitchy.
I'm a little pitchy, just a bit. Well, apparently I need to go, be put into like the Voice-O-Matic 2000 or whatever it was called because I freaking love this film. But more importantly, I freaking love this soundtrack.
We should get Mr. Movie Phone to do your voice bits for the record.
We can't afford Mr. Movie Phone. You know what the sad thing is? We're in a generation right now that doesn't know anything about what Mr. Movie Phone was.
Oh, sad.
I know, right? There's, as much as Josie and the Pussycats was able to make fun of the time that it was released in and the landscape of the music industry, you go back and you watch that film now and you're like, oh yeah, I remember Mr. Movie Phone. And people will be like, huh? What's a Mr. Movie Phone? And then you feel old and then you go curl in the corner in the fetal position and you cry until you go to sleep. This is what happens.
That's deep.
This is what happens when we're dealing with films and soundtracks that are 24 years old as of a recording. But this soundtrack still kicks ass today and is a very big reason why this film is so good. And the fact, and I know I went off on this over on It's Not That Bad. The fact that there was nary an award for this album. Nary a Grammy nod, nary an Oscar nod, whatever. These songs are some of the best fake band songs of all time. And we talked about this on an episode of Keep Watch Pass over on the It's Not That Bad channel. This is my favorite fictional movie rock band of all time. And I know right now there's people out there going, well, what about the Wonders? Yeah, the Wonders are fine, but they're not Josie and the Pussycats.
Spinal Tap?
Yeah, okay. Just because Spinal Tap has the record for most drummers exploded, imploded, or whatever, doesn't mean that they're not better. These songs, we're going to get into this. These songs, to me, at least, are freaking iconic. Spinal Tap is iconic for sure. There's no question whatsoever. And having seen now the full trailer for the sequel for This Is Spinal Tap, I'm excited. The thought of Elton John singing Stonehenge gives me chills to no end. But yeah, this is going to be fun. But no, we're not talking about Spinal Tap. We're talking about Josie and the Pussycats. So let me give you a little bit of background on the soundtrack here. The album was released March 27th, 2001 and hit number 16 on the Billboard 200. It is also gold in the US. It features Kay Hanley on vocals. And if you don't know who Kay Hanley is, then you need to start listening to Letters to Cleo, because holy crap, Letters to Cleo is awesome. Rachel Lee Cook, Tara Reid, and Rosario Dawson, the Pussycats in the movie, also did backup vocals on the album, as did Biff Naked. But also contributing to songwriting and other parts on the album, the late Adam Schlesinger from Mountains of Wayne, Matthew Sweet, Jane Wheatlin, and Adam Duritz from The Counting Crows. Like, this album is so stacked with talent. It is insane. Just absolutely insane. And the songwriting on here is fantastic. And I have to say, sometimes you watch a movie and you know it's not the singing voice of the actor. It's not. And I recognize this is one of those films, but Kay Hanley is the perfect voice for Rachel Lee Cook. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
Like, nailed it.
I can't say you're right, but you're not wrong. I just can't say you're right.
I was trying. I was trying for a ringtone here, but apparently not today. Not today. Not in my sick and enfeebled way. I don't even get it like a sicky toy version of, oh, you're right, Jay. No placating here. I'm just going to sit in the corner and suffer and get through this episode. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this soundtrack and pick 3 songs each. A spin, a shuffle, and a skip. The spin, you get 2 rock horns all the way high. The shuffle, you get 1 rock horn. The skip, let's be honest, with this disc, the skip is the least best song on the disc, because this album is front to back, all killer, no filler, even the du jour songs.
I would count that as the filler, but I mean, it's funny because when we endeavored into, let's cover Josie and the Pussycats, I'm like, if there's not a du jour song on this album, then I'm out. And of course, there it is. There's 2.
Yeah. Is it bad? It's probably bad. But is it bad that the 2 du jour songs on this album is actually better than some of the boy band stuff that was coming out around that time?
Oh my God. I'm so glad you said that. It reminds me of, the animated Turning Red, with the red fox and the young girl who just wants to go to this boy band concert. I don't even remember the boy band's name.
See, I have no idea.
However, the songs were so damn catchy that I remember, like, when our youngest at the time was really big into this movie, and the songs were so catchy. I literally put them in my playlist on my Spotify.
But the funny thing is, and this is the key to having a fake rock band or fake musician, fictional singer, if you will, movie work. The songs have to be good. Like, you take a look at A Star Is Born, and yeah, it's Lady Gaga, right? It's of course it's Lady Gaga. You're fine, right? Bradley Cooper holds his own in that, but the songs make it. If you're not walking out of the theater with at least one or two songs from the soundtrack stuck in your head, the movie didn't do its job, and the soundtrack didn't do its job either. Like, even when we went back to the Grading on a Curve musicals episode, some of those songs in some of those real crap movies still got stuck in my head. Like The Apple. The Apple had songs where I'm just like, I'm not supposed to like this. I'm really not supposed to like this, but this song is kind of earwormy.
It's like From Justin to Kelly.
Oh, you went there.
Couldn't help but walk away singing the songs. And I'm like, I'm hating this, but here it is.
These are the things that we do for you. These are the movies that we watch for your pleasure over on It's Not That Bad. Luckily, we're on the There Can Only Be One channel, which means we get to listen to damn good music. So, Carrie, I'm going to kick off this party here and give my voice a break. What's your spin pick off of the Josie and the Pussycats soundtrack?
I am spinning Spin Around.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
That's your spin pick?
Yeah. Well, actually, it would have been Three Small Words, but I went with spin. So
fair enough.
It's you know what? I've literally just spoiled my shuffle pick. But it's literally, you know what? So much fun.
I think the biggest selling point for Spin Around, and it's my shuffle pick, actually, is that the usage of the song in the film is perfect. This is when, Josie and the Pussycats are playing this big show after beating Fiona and Wyatt, and now they're going to play their music without the brainwashing headphones on everybody. And this song, and also let's not forget the meet cute angle just completely wraps up at this point on stage. This song is the perfect song for that. And it even has the ability to have a good long breakdown. So Josie and Alan M can have their little conversation on stage. Also, she's not hearing Alan M while he's being crowd surfed on stage. Those speakers look big. There's no way she's hearing them. But no, this is the perfect song for that, even though it's not the big song of the actual album. And I think that's another big thing too. And we've talked about this on Spin Shuffle Skip. I know when Lyle's on the show, whenever we're doing soundtracks, we talk about how sometimes it's the moment in the movie that sells the song. So for Spin Around, I can easily see why it's your spin pick. And you can easily see why it's my shuffle pick. But my spin pick, it's an absolute no-brainer. It's Three Small Words. This song kicks off the entire movie. It is punk pop perfection. Like, literally, if Avril Lavigne came out and did this song, it would have been a hit. It would have been on the radio. It would have been on Much Music. It would have been number one with a bullet. This song is pop punk gold.
I completely agree. And like I said, it would have been my spin, but I went with it. I rolled with Spin Around.
Oh, I see how it is. Your spin is Spin Around. I get it now.
Oh, are you today years old figuring that out?
I'm NyQuil.
That was the reason for my quick
this is like
swap.
This is like every single compilation CD that had Blur's Song 2 as the number 2 song on the disc.
Woohoo!
And we literally just talked about that on Big Shiny Tunes 2.
However, I do have to say that leading the charge on the soundtrack, that it starts with Three Small Words.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, track 2, isn't it Spin Around?
No, Spin Around is track 3.
Oh, it's Pretend to Be.
Pretend to Be Nice is number 2. And
it starts with a bang, though.
Yeah. It was hard for me to settle on a shuffle. That's the thing. I mean, Three Small Words was my spin. There was no question whatsoever. But there's so many good songs on here. I love Real Wild Child, that cover song. Like I love it. Fantastic. Their cover of the original Saturday morning cartoon, Josie and the Pussycats. I said I wasn't going to sing. I'm sorry. I'll stop. But you couldn't not have that song on this disc. It reminds me of, do you remember? And I'm sure right now there's people who are about ready to dive into their box of cassettes that they've left in their attic or they've left in their basement. Yeah, I said cassettes. The Saturday morning cartoons compilation, where you had like big bands of the day doing covers of Saturday morning cartoons, like the theme songs.
Well, I mean, the Gem theme song is kind of like ingrained. It's burnt into my brain with the sparkle star earrings. it you know what? When you grow up listening to a song and then you hear it years later and it's like, it still kind of just brings you back to that moment of childhood. Like, much like when we first watched Josie and the Pussycats 25 years ago.
Yeah.
There has to be something wrong with that math.
The funny thing is, and I'm just looking at this now, this is an album we got to cover eventually. Actually, I may have to call up our good friend Brian Colburn from my weekly mixtape, because I know he and I were talking about this album at one point as a spin shuffle skip. So I may have to boot you out and bring Brian in for this one. By the way, Brian, if you're listening, you're being called out on this one.
And I've been fired.
You've been fired for one show. But listen to this. The Banana Splits theme song done by Liz Phair. Go Speed Racer Go by Sponge. Sugar Sugar from the Archies by Semisonic. Scooby-Doo Where Are You by Matthew Sweet. Josie and the Pussycats, the theme song by Juliana Hatfield and Tanya Donnelly. Collective Soul's on here. Helmet is on here doing Gigantor. The Butthole Surfers. Ramones doing Spider-Man, which is killer cover. Reverend Horton Heat, Violent Femmes. Face to Face, Trippin' Daisy, the Toadies, like Sublime doing Hong Kong Phooey. Come on. This album was perfect. But I will say that the version of Josie and the Pussycats on this soundtrack, and this is nothing against Juliana Hatfield and Tanya Donnelly. I think they're great. This version is superior than the version on that compilation CD.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Visit USAA.com/bundle.
Bundle savings are off total premium, not available in all states or in all situations. To qualify, auto policy must be active prior to property policy issue, subject to change. Restrictions apply. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
I feel like we've done a speed run though, because my spin is your shuffle and your spin is my shuffle. So now we're down to our skips. What's your skip song?
I'm skipping on Pretend to Be Nice.
I can see that.
It was not my favorite, but it's not a bad song. It's just not one that stood out to me. And I struggled with this because I had a backup contender and I was going to pick the theme song Josie and the Pussycats. Only because the soundtrack is so killer. It is something that I would literally just put in my car CD player and rock out in traffic. But then when you get to the theme song, it's just like, it's your classic Saturday morning cartoon jingle. And I'm like, it just, as much as obviously it fits, it stood out and it's just different.
I'll ask you though. Do you think it would have been a massive miss if that song wasn't on the CD?
Oh, it has to be there.
It was in the end credits.
Yeah, it has to be on the soundtrack. I appreciate that, but it's one that I would quite literally, and it's right at the end, and it's past the du jour songs, which are quite catchy too. And then you could just quite easily skip it. And I would, by all rights, hit skip on it. However, I am sticking with Pretend to Be Nice. And I think just because that part of the movie, when they're singing that song, it's kind of like...
And the song's climbing up the charts and it's very music video montagey. Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't stand out for me. It's like, obviously that's the Rise to Fame song, but it's not one of my favorite. And I think had they switched it, had they used Spin Around as their Rise to Fame, and then the one that they came out with on the stage would be like Pretend to Be Nice, or even if she came out and did like an acoustic version of You Don't See Me.
See,
because that would have fit with the Alan M scene.
See, I could have seen like Eurostar or Shapeshifter being that song rather than Pretend to Be Nice. I see why, and like I know for me this was actually on my contender list, probably because of the whole I'm not. There's no way I'm hitting that note today, and I'm sorry. Actually, I don't think I would hit that note anyways.
You promised you wouldn't sing.
Okay, but you know the part I'm talking about though. Mm-hmm. So just envision it, and if you haven't, dear listeners, watch this movie or listen to this album, make sure once you're done listening to us, go watch the movie and then listen to the soundtrack. You're welcome. I thought about the du jour songs though, as well, but it's hard to pick those songs when they're kind of perfect for what they're meant to be.
And I would have been so upset if they weren't on the soundtrack.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because du jour, like, again, a small yet such a pivotal part of this movie, because they were the original boy band. The minute they start asking questions, they wind up, going down in the plane, and the agent, goes skydiving.
But the funny thing is, when you think about when this film came out too, like the late 90s were very boy band, girl band heavy. And then you get the turn of the millennium, and people were going towards that pop punk Avril Lavigne kind of sound. That bit more, slightly more aggressive, but still poppy, kind of punky kind of thing. Pop punk was the new boy band. That's kind of what it was. So this movie encapsulated that with this, but you couldn't have bad songs for du jour, because otherwise then it would just be a joke, right? It would be a joke and it wouldn't mean as much. This was supposed to be the biggest band out there. And then they took the Chevy to the Levee, and it's all good. Or it's not all good if you're du jour. But I ended up going with Come On. And I simply say this. It doesn't elevate like the rest of the songs on this disc too. But even my least favorite song on this disc is still better than a lot of the stuff that was coming out. Like, I'm picking Come On because I have to pick a song. But the du jour songs are perfect for what they are. But Come On sits in one gear. And everything else has those multiple layers. Even Pretend to Be Nice has those little earwormy hooks especially when you get to like almost the halftime slowed down chorus. That's hooky. Even if I'm not a fan of the end of the song, Come On is in that one gear. And that's kind of it. All right, Carrie, before we go, remind our listeners what your spin, shuffle, and skip picks are from the Josie and the Pussycats soundtrack.
I am spin around and around and around, and I'm spin around. And I am shuffling 3 small words and passing on pretending to be nice. I'm not being nice here. I feel like I'm being mean, even though I like the song.
Right.
But I'm still passing.
But I mean, let's be honest. When you have an album like this, you still have to play by the rules. And there's no intro track for us to kind of just pick that and get out of it. It's not like the Beavis and Butthead, soundtrack where there were little sound bite snippets. It was like, I'm going to pick that one because it's not really a song, but rules be rules. My spin pick is 3 small words. My shuffle is spin around, and my skip is come on because I had to pick a song. Carrie, thank you so much for this. And to you, our dear listeners, thank you so much. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to It's Not That Bad, our movie podcast, you need to find it wherever you get your podcast, because tomorrow is our big 4-year anniversary celebration episode, grading on a curve. And I tell you, we suffered for your listening pleasure. But until next time, well, you guys know the drill. If there's an album that you want us to cover on Spin, Shuffle, Skip, or an artist that you want us to cover on There Can Only Be One, hit us up on social media at OnlyOneCast or go to our website at notthatbadcast.com. Until next time, she's Carrie, I'm Jay. You guys are awesome. This is Spin, Shuffle, Skip on the There Can Only Be One podcast channel, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Take care.